Alrighty. What is up, everybody? Welcome on board on a different session to the ones we usually host. A lot more calmer, as you can see in the volume of people that we've got, a lot more personal, friendly, and cozy. Right, we got Neil over here, who's a product manager for SmartDelivery, and myself, who is just trying to cause a ruckus. But the intent of this meeting and this catch up, we're going to be very proactive with your time, is to explain and effectively walk you through SmartDelivery. So to help you understand how to improve your, obviously, the score, make sure you land on your leads primary, bring more revenue in for your customers, but also definitely use this as a chance for you to ask any questions you have. So we're keeping this personal and one-to-one, and we're going ahead and ensuring that we've got ahead and set up an experience that goes on week, so that you can actually use this, use your questions for us and ensure that we're here to help you out as and when possible as well. Now, there are some things to call out as well, which is fun. Now, since I don't know how many of you have used it or not, but since as of Friday, we do have um, some really cool things that have come into place. But before we do that, we have to stick to some traditions. We're going to let some of you in. There's about 30, 40 of you. Drop in the chat. Which part of the world are you in from? We have always done that. We'll continue to do that. Let's see how many of you are wide awake at 10 a.m. EST. Cyprus, London. All right. Come on. We got some more. Toronto, Mexico. So I'm assuming the Northern Hemisphere is going to start getting cold now because it's actually always a good day. All right, we got New York. So you know what I'd recently popped in New York is the pistachio, the little cronut donuts that you have there. I've been wanting to try that for the longest time, but one thing I definitely need to do. If I can get the chance to, if you can ship that one for me, I would deeply appreciate it, and maybe even get you a smartly subscribe. Yeah, I'll talk to you. Yeah, we'll walk through it. We'll walk through it. We'll clock a deal in. It'll affect Swapnil's MRR, but we'll clock a deal in. We'll definitely do that. Awesome. Getting snowing. It is peak heat in Sydney, just FYI. We are the summer's kicking in, the shorts are out. We're getting, highs of 30 degrees Celsius for those who like boiling water at 100, or Fahrenheit is, I think, a bit more than that. But easy peasy, awesome. Thank you all for jumping on board. The agenda is very clear for this call, so you all know exactly why you're here and what we're going to go through so your time is efficient. We're going to be walking through SmartDelivery, help you understand why it's important for you, any questions you have, mainly that is the goal of this, to help you understand questions that you've got and walk you through the product experience as quick as we can. Now, with that being said, there's two things to very quickly call out for those who do use SmartDelivery already. We've got, I think, another 11 days left for Black Friday, Cyber Monday. We've never run a deal before, but somehow the team convinced everyone to go ahead and do it. So we've got unlimited placement tests going on. Grab it before all of us hit our conscious state. And the second thing as well is on Wednesday, that means 2 days from today, we've got Nick Abraham, who a lot of us know, runs one of the best agencies in the world, completely automated for the most part. He's going to be coming in effectively to come through and put a whole new wipe on email deliverability from his perspective. He sends millions of emails a day, a month, and a big SL user, as well as use other tools. So it's going to be very unbiased to help you with the problems you're facing. So sweet. I'm going to start with sharing my screen. I tend to speak quite fast, so if you have any questions, drop it in the chat. We'll get them answered for you. And like Swapnil said, he did fight me to get the pricing reduced or get the value increased. Haha. No, don't worry. Unlimited was actually the plan that we had that he had in mind for a long time. I just fought it. All right, everyone can see my screen. Hopefully the right screen. Yes? Okay. If it's the wrong screen, I'm sure there'll be screenshots taken already and put on LinkedIn as to what I'm browsing. Awesome. All right. So we're going to go ahead and kick off with SmartDelivery. Like I said, keep the chat interactive, because if you have questions, I'd be more than happy to get those answered for you ASAP. You're on the old pricing plan. It's not going to be moved. It should have been done. If it's not yet done, I'll check through it, mate. It'll be happening any moment now, but do not worry. You'll be sorted out for good. Migration should have happened last week. I actually did that personally, but if it's not done yet, I'll have it reviewed personally and get it done. Rest assured, don't worry. You should be good to go. Sweet. Now, in the shortest format way possible to explain it, The goal of SD is one and one alone is so that you can do placement tests with your actual copy, with your actual variables to find out whether your emails are actually landing in the primary or secondary folder so that you don't need to worry about using open rates. Open rates do not work for a long time. And the reason why is simply because of the fact that Apple, a long, long time ago, introduced something called the Apple Mail Protection Policy. So the Mail Protection Policy effectively, I'll just find it to you, Mail Protection Policy, Apple. I think it's MPP. Yeah, okay, MPP, Smartlead. I'll just give you guys the article so you all have access to that as well. Sweet. So I've just dropped it on the chat for all your reference to yourself or your team or whatever it is. But basically the Apple MPP shortest format pretty much proxies all the emails that go through Apple servers. And as much as you want to believe it or not, about 40 to 50% of all email traffic goes through Apple servers. Not because they control the internet email networks, but a lot of people have iPhones, and a lot of those emails are then set up to have, their personal Gmail accounts and so on and so forth. So what that simply means is just the fact that we end up having a situation where a lot of the emails land in these proxy networks and they are effectively rendered, or when they're rendered, basically what we call as bot rendering or bot traffic, which then means that your emails show as open when they're really not open. Now, you can say, look, you guys are a big company, you guys know your stuff, you have some fancy algorithms, why don't you just put in a bot tracker? We actually do have that, by the way. We actually go ahead and give you the ability to see when your emails have been opened very, very easily. However, the problem is we can tell you which traffic of yours is botted, but we can't actually tell you whether your emails have been actually open or not if they've gone through a proxy network. Because the way it works is, if you're looking at my hands, so email goes through, comes over here in a proxy network. From that point in time, if an email goes underneath here, all the traffic and activity that happens underneath, any event that occurs does not come beyond that. So we actually cannot tell whether it's been open, clicked, replied to the truest form of accuracy. We have some mechanisms that we use to adjust and adopt to figure out whether it's been open or not, but it's not truly accurate. Second piece, when you put in your open trackers, what ends up happening is they put in as headers or little tiny images. So pixelated images that are invisible. Obviously, we fixed that. All that issue was taken care of. And those pixelated images, when loaded, go ahead and emulate the fact that it has been, in fact, open. Nothing wrong with that. But when an image is sent, it automatically tracks the email as an HTML email. HTML emails are very similar to promotional emails, as you all know, the e-commerce stuff that's sold, etc., blah, blah, from the dodgy website we all visit. Then what ends up happening is most likely ESPs as well as large spam filters end up blocking that email because it triggers effectively HTML or HTML spam filter, which means it picks it up as a promotional email. Hence why open rates have the most counterintuitive way of, when you're trying to improve your deliverability, using open rates as a metric, it's actually impacting your delivery as well. So simple solution was SD. Now I'll walk you through how this works. By the way, again, any questions, drop it in the comment section, please. I'd be more than happy to help answer anything that you've got, especially if you've got deliverability issues right now. Drop it in. I'll be happy to assist those things for you ASAP. All right. Now, how can you resolve the high flaggable 60% when sending from Outlook? I'm using Outlook inboxes from scaled mail. Tested 10 copies, variations, issues persist, can go through different read automatically. Okay, sweet. So Osvaldo will answer your question, and Francois will also answer your question. Now, we'll jump into Francois' question first so that you actually get the sense of the whole product experience. And then second, we'll go into Osvaldo's question. Sweet. Now, you can create campaigns in two formats. You can do a manual test or you can do an automated test. They're actually the exact same thing, except an automated test is basically the manual test done multiple times. So the goal of an automated test over here is, because if you're doing your open tracking and you're not doing it anymore and you're depending on a smart delivery, then effectively you want to run your automated test in parallel to your campaigns. And now, since it's unlimited, go batshit crazy, right? Run a campaign, run an automated test, and basically run it every single day. So every single day your campaign is live, you've done a placement test. So you know for that day how your mailboxes and, more importantly, your copy is performing. Super straightforward. You click on start spam test, click on automated test for over here. I'll just call this SL demo. You can put it into a folder if you want, put in a slide description to help you out. Right now, we've got Spam Assassin, which is an open source Apache network that gives you a very close and similar example of what the actual Google or Outlook filter would look like. It's not one-to-one, but it comes very close on open source cycle. What we've got coming up is something called Barracuda, as well as Proofpoint, as well as Google Postmaster itself. The fun thing about these three additional platforms is a lot of the larger enterprises that you guys are facing issues with, especially Fortune 500, Fortune 1000, actually don't depend on Google and Outlook's own spam filters. They have their own very custom process that they've set up. And when you want to do custom segments or basically secure gateways, you use these things called these custom spam filters like Barracuda and Proofpoint. There's a bit of a deep sort of census attached to that. We'll get to that soon. But once you get picked up by Barracuda or Proofpoint, it's a little tough to get out of it. So you want to be a little careful there. Now, the link checker is also a really cool feature. What that does is in a situation, you actually end up having an email of yours that is perhaps blacklisted. A link that is blacklisted, is spammy or high filtered. Like it's in a lot of emails that are highly spammable. We actually check that for you as well. So that is a really important one that you have turned on. For example, if you're putting in bit.ly links, if you're putting in per se, what's another one that's like Calendly links, sometimes because a lot of people go ahead and have these links and they may have spam emails, then there's a chance that this one gets picked up and gets thrown into a blacklist. So now we've got this thing called sending throttle. Look, unless you are someone who runs an SMTP network, I would recommend to just keep this first option. This is the exact same to same as if you had created a campaign and you've selected the triggers, right? Like how often you want to send an email, every 10 minutes, every 20, every 30 minutes. That's what this thing is doing. So you want to keep it as 10 minutes, you're good to go. Moving on to the next section. You want to select a campaign because the whole point of this is you want to send it with perception of a campaign. You can actually look at the copy and we actually put in the full signature, like the variables. We're just showing this as lead one over here, but we actually put in the full variables and content inside of this as well. So you are actually good to go. You can actually select the mailboxes. Now, these are the mailboxes that are already connected to this particular campaign. You're fine. With respect to the providers, we're going to readjust this a lot, but predominantly most of you are sending to Outlook and Gmail in Eastern Europe, Western Europe, and Northern America. This is a fun little one that we've got over here. Yes, all the recordings will be available pushed up on our YouTube, as well as if you have seen a little cute little thing on the left side over here, we have now something called Smartlead events that is actually going to show you all the events that we've got coming up as well now, as well in the future. Haha, sweet. But anyway, warm-up copy is the fun one that we released last week. The intent of this is one and one alone. The intent of warm-up copy is the assumption that we have gone with the perspective that a lot of ESPs have put in a dramatic amount of impact as well as weightage towards the copy itself, which is why variability has become extremely important, which is why tools like Clay have become very important to create hyper-personalized content. Because one email that has similar copy that is sent across XYZ other amount of emails have a likelier chance of landing in spam, because from what we've understood and what the rest of the market has said is if you have similar copy, then there's a chance it goes to spam. And that is why sometimes your campaigns start with a really high reply rate and then dwindle down, because by nature of note of cold emails, some of your emails start getting marked as spam, and therefore the larger ESPs start picking up your copy just by their quote unquote Bayesian algorithm. A Bayesian algorithm is nothing but a basic identifying algorithm saying, hey, 5 things made me think this is spam. If this thing has 4 things, good chance this is spam. That's all there is to it, right? And that's kind of how we operate with respect to copy segment. So the goal over here with warming up your campaign copy is we're not just warming up your mailboxes, and we're not just warming up with random office content or whatever random AI content we have, but we're actually optimizing it with your actual campaign copy, with your actual variables from the mailboxes that you would be actually sending it from. And then we reply back to it with a positive sentiment and message. Now, you might ask why. I mean, it's actually quite straightforward, because anyway, we're doing a test for you, right? We're actually sending an email from your mailbox to a seed list that we own. And then we tell you whether it's landed in spam or the primary folder. If we're going that far, we might as well just reply back to it. And if you reply back to it, we reply back to it with a positive intended message, because the sentimental analysis is that these emails or these ESPs, which are magically picking up this contextual information, have picked up that you have a positive replied message come through from this copy you've sent. So when you send this copy again the next time round, it's got some additional magical ESP juice to keep you happy and out of spam. So that's that. all I'm going to do over here now is click that on. And once that's turned on, every email that I send from this particular smart delivery test will have a reply that comes back. Even if that email has landed in the spam folder of the seed list, it will be moved into the primary folder, marked as important, and reply back to as well with a certain filter value that I've set over here. You can see that it has the keyword Carol Jones inside of it, so you can filter that out on your actual campaign. Are the emails sent in SD test getting out of spam? Yes. So that's the point that I've just got to over here. BZ, which is when you warm up your campaign copy and your emails do land in spam, it's not a sacrificial output anymore. We actually move it out of spam and we mark it as important as well. So you end up getting a two birds, one stone situation where you actually warm up your copy along with running a placement test, which is creme de la creme. But if you're lactose intolerant, then oat milk de la creme. Sweet. With that, we've got schedule settings. Super simple. If you want to run a campaign, you want to run it in the same time zone as the campaign, we pre-fill the value from the campaign setting itself. And you want to repeat it every single day. And you want to run it on weekdays because most likely you run the test on weekdays. The end date, to be honest, you probably want to just put that till your campaign finishes. It's going to put that till Feb. And that's it. You kick it off. And that's it. And run. Yeah, I did not select a sender account. That is my boo-boo. Haha. Sorry. Save. Save for next. And we're good to go. And the test kicks off. It does its thing. And we'll get the results as soon as they're ready. And you'll start seeing your responses come through. Why every day? So good call, BZ. You can run the campaign once a week. But the reason why we say every day is if you're a high volume sender, your copy can get exhausted. And the goal over here is the same question I can ask you. Why do you want to check your open rates every single day? You want to check your open rates every single day because you want to see how your mailbox is performing every single day. So henceforth, running a test every single day helps you out that way. Cool. How many test emails are sent per account per day? Well, how many ever tests you do? It's just 1-to-1, right? So that's all there is to it. So yeah, for those who just joined, the manual automated test is the exact same thing, except with the manual test. With the automated test, you have that one final screen, which is to set the frequency. With the manual test, you don't have to set the frequency. You just kick it off. Sweet. Now we'll quickly go through the results. So this is obviously what your automated test looks like. If you run a report over a few days, you'll actually see how your campaigns have performed on a left to right scale. Very important because you will see when a dip happens and you can actually figure out what the reason for that dip is and fix it. Now, we go into this. You've got a whole bunch of information that comes your way. It can be overwhelming, and that's fine. That's why we're here, and we're here to help you out. You can actually click on campaign copy. You can click on your raw message, and we actually give you the full contextual output. Now, I have a bone to pick with some people on the internet where they say, hey, Smartleads, when you guys go ahead and show me the DKIM and DMARC reports, it's saying over here that it has failed or not failed. However, in my DKIM test platform, whatever, it says passed. Remember, DKIM checkers that are online checkers only do a domain check. They actually don't check whether the signature has actually been verified on a mailbox level. Hence why, whether it's Smartlead or any other tool, SmartDelivery, any other tool in the world, you want to do a placement test because that is the truest form of a DKIM record being verified because we literally have access to the email that has been sent and received by us. So we can go through the headers ourselves. Cool. Hopefully the team is answering some questions for you on the chat, but I'll keep going through this as well. Guys, got some team members joining. Can you let them in? Andy, for sure. Sweet. Inbox, pretty straightforward. Land in the inbox folder. Tab is basically anything that's promotional or otherwise. Spam folder, we don't like it. And pending is the email still it needs to get reached out to. You've got a spam assassin score of 1.8, which is great. Your goal is to get your score as closer to the negative value as possible. 5 means it's come as close, like 5 means that it's probably going to land in spam. That's the assumption. So you want to keep it as low as possible in the negatives as much as you can. It's a happy day if it's in the negatives. So we're good to go on that side. Sweet. Then now comes the second piece, which is your ESP IP reputation. Now, if you're using Gmail and Outlook, do not worry. You're actually fine because most of the time your IPs do get rotated. However, if you're using a reseller where they've gone ahead and set it up to a point where they've got a very interesting tenancy perspective, or they've got something where they're having your tenant, your infrastructure shared with someone else's, or they've overloaded it, that is a problem you want to be worried about. that is not going to be solved by any blacklist that picks it up, but it's going to be solved from a reseller perspective. That's what it said on Smartlead. With spam assassin, -2 would be better than -1. Yeah, definitely. It's the same thing as the math modeling. You want to have it on the negative value as much as you can be. Now, one more thing to point out, you might ask, what blacklist? How do I screw these people over? You click on that, you'll actually get all these stuff come through as well. Now, one fun one for you guys. If it is gray, we do not care. Look, we track 500 blacklists because we went absolutely batshit nuts for you and give you access to everything. If this is red, it's no good. Very much like a traffic signal when we're not drunk, which is you don't want to skip through that, right? You want to pay attention to the red signal and focus on that and fix it. If it's gray, you do not care about that and we're good to go. These are just usually whitelisters or temporary blacklisters and they disappear after some time as well. Sweet. I know you guys are dropping questions in and I think the team's answering them for you, but I'll also jump in and help out as and when possible. I'll finish one or two more things and we'll go through that very quickly. The other cool thing that you get to see is your geo view and provider view. You can actually see on a geographical level how your mailbox is provided, and on a provider perspective how your mailbox is actually provided as and performed as well, which is really, really good. So in this case, we can see over here my GMX was 100%, my Outlook was my G Suite was 100%, but my my Office 365 was predominantly flaggable altogether end to end, which we've all seen. We've had issues over the past few weeks perspective. I mean, that's 100% placement is solid. Outlook is just facing a major issue. So also just by note of that as well. We did introduce, just to side note, a very quick, fun, juicy feature for a lot of y'all who've asked for this. Oh yeah, this is that test campaign. So if you just click on this, you go to, in any of your campaigns, go to general settings, scroll down, and you have a little fun guy over here, which then gives you, it shows you proactively your entire lead list, lead segmentation. So you can actually decide just to send to Gmail or just Outlook. If you turn that off, you can just select Gmail, Outlook, or others. Cool. So we actually parse out your leads MX records at the point of you uploading them, and we give you access to that information as well. And you can also find that over here too if you want. If you just click back and click on your lead list, you can actually see the Gmail, Outlook, Gmail, so on and so forth. Sweet. Now comes the saucy question. What is flaggable? Now, flaggable is a fun one. It's something that, cracked our head up a bit as well. But the difference between SmartDelivery versus any other platform, I'm not trying to sell you guys, most of you guys are already customers. The main difference is, unlike other tools, you have to send an email to a proxy email they provide with a hash code inside of it. When you give them the hash code inside of it, they use that to identify a particular mailbox of yours. In this case, your mailbox is actually connected to Smartlead directly. What that means, effectively, is that you're seeing the truest form of how your campaigns will perform. Because when you're using another placement platform, you're most likely sending it from your UI. If you're sending it from your UI, that will behave differently from when you're sending it from an OAuth connected account, whether it's Smartlead or any other competitors exist in the world. And that is by nature true. We all know when you send from the UI, you have a different infrastructure through which Gmail at least specifically sends their emails from, versus when you send it from from an OAuth side. So you want to make sure that you've connected to any platform and you're actually sending it programmatically, just like how you would in an actual campaign. Why I've said all that drama is because when you come over here, flaggable predominantly means one of two things. One, what flaggable means is, if we highlight over that, it says your copy has been marked as spammy. There's a good chance that has been marked as spam and it's actually bounced. That means it has not even been sent by your own ESP itself, or the receiving ESP, which is our own ESP, has rejected it saying, Nana pupu gaga, not good. And you can actually find that as a fun little hack for y'all. You can find that in the master inbox in the untracked replies. You'll 100% probably find that over there as a bounced message, most likely saying that the sender IP is marked as spam or the copy itself is marked as spam. Sender IP is going to be the IP address that is used to send the email, aka, again, very clearly, that is not, unfortunately, as much as we'd love it to be, not Smartlead's IP, but it is the IP of the software that you're using to send emails. In this case, yandex.com or whatever it might be, right? With Google, you'll see the IP and the RDNX to point to something like 10-100 net dot something. That's Google's entire subnetwork with respect to sending emails. So If your emails are basically being blacklisted because you picked that up over there, then you want to go ahead and if it's a private SMTP, ask them to get that fixed, get it removed, so on and so forth, etc. But if it's Gmail Outlook, I said it's fine. So if your IP is low, but you are on Gmail and Outlook, like I said, it is a good chance that you are connected to a low tenant protocol through your reseller, and you want to ask your reseller how they set up the tenancies so that it's individual or isolated tenants and it's not shared tenants. And they've gone ahead and made sure that you have your own existence in your entire tenancy arena with your reseller. Otherwise, if you are associated with a bunch of negative people, good chance your copy will also end up, your mails will also land up in spam. And we've known that for a fact for a long time. We've done several of these sessions where Jesse himself or several other people, including ourselves, have pointed out that if you are associated to a tenant that has a low reputation because someone else is screwing it over, you will also get screwed over, if not now, in the future as well. Is Outlook usually flaggable through though at this point? It's not just usually flaggable, it just happens sometimes. Is that the same as cPanel C Suite? Yes, Andy, it is a tenant in Microsoft or a workspace in G Suite. The two same things. Okay, so walked you through the product. Hopefully you have a sense of understanding. Like I walked you through the setup. There's a lot of fun stuff that's come up over here. We also have action steps for some of you all who've not actually, if you're not seen it, we actually walk you through every reason as to what has happened, how you actually need to get that fixed. Neil over here has worked tremendously to get this entire thing sorted out. So every situation, every block list, every spam assassin score, your IPs being low, your blacklisting, your flaggable, not flaggable, every single one of that has actually got dedicated action steps as well. And in fact, we also have an AI engine come through to assist you over there as well. Sweet. Now, where we've hit the peak, but we're going to use this as a chance to answer any questions. We've got Joshua with his hand on his head, so we're getting bored. So we're going to try to keep it very proactive over here. Now, so bro, you got the same hairstyle as me. I have a lot of respect for people with similar hairstyles. It's out of choice. That's what we tell everyone. Cool. All right. What is considered good enough? A good enough test. A good enough test is simply a test where you got the transparency of information. You're not trying to prove or you're all professionals. Don't worry. You've made it through school and university. We're good to go. What we're trying to do with these tests is simply to get access to information that you would not have, simply because the metric we measured as a cycle of deliverability, which is open rates, do not work anymore. And the other option is your reply rates. The perspective with reply rates is you want your copy to be great, but you don't know if your copy is great if you don't deliver them on place. So you're stuck in this constant loop cycle. Hence why this thing exists over here. Email sent out from SmartDelivery do not count for your daily mailbox count. It's in the eye icons and the warning signs mentioned there. Just FYI. What are some KPIs to 80% is a great benchmark to aim for. Francois. 80, so that means this little number over here, you want to aim for 80%. And there's several people who do achieve that, but it doesn't happen all the time. You need to train your system, become good at it, which training a system points me to one thing. The one really cool thing I can point out over here, which is copy definitely does matter, Raheel. We're actually working on a really, really fun, cool feature for y'all, which is fun and exciting. We're going to go do placement tests on your behalf using copy from a bot that we've trained over 5,000 of the best performing campaigns. We're going to reiterate these tests consistently in the background, almost like A/B tests, and keep changing the copy until we find a version that places better than your own copy. And we'll only give it to you once we beat your score by a certain variance and metric. So literally by doing nothing, you are simply running a SmartDelivery test, and you're going to get copy that is not only optimized for sales, but also optimized for deliverability, because we're going to remove all the spam keywords, all the certain verbiage or protocols that are causing your emails to land in spam in a click of a button. All of that will be done on the back end for you, pretty much automated. Not pretty much, almost all completely automated, right, Neil?
Yes.
Okay. So much drama to it. So yeah, completely automated. So how many emails are sent per inbox if you do a manual test? If you connected 1,000 mailboxes and you are sending it, then you send one email per test, right? If you select one provider, but if you select 50 providers, that means 50 seed lists. Each seed list is the equivalent of a lead list that you've uploaded. So if you select 50, seedless, and you select 1,000 mailboxes, then it's going to be 1,000 mailboxes into 50. So 50,000 emails will be sent in total. Or each mailbox of yours is going to send to 50 different email providers, because you yourself wanted us to find out where your emails are landing for you on your behalf. The set campaign is currently active. It will be paused when you start the campaign test, blah, 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 once the test is completed. Yes, that is true. I have 500 emails, but looking at the email pricing, 170 fonts for 200 are exactly whatever, blah, blah, blah. Is that accurate? So, Rayaz, so just to make you understand how the pricing works over there, we basically capped it to the number of senders per campaign, but you can create two separate sequences, select two separate mailbox, like two separate batches of mailboxes and send it, because you've now got unlimited tests. So I don't even think there's a dollar cost that even can be measured, because it's unlimited. So if you got one campaign where you connected 500 mailboxes, right? Sequence A1, test A1, test B1. First test A1, select 250 mailboxes. Test B1, the latter 250 mailboxes, and run your campaigns. That's it. You're good to go. You're no longer blocked. And it's unlimited. So you pretty much halve that cost from 88 cents to 44 cents. And no, that's 200 accounts, roughly 88 cents. No, that's unlimited tests though. So there is no costing, to be honest, really. Hence why I just assume it's unlimited, candidly. That's just the number we put there. Which it's actually, if you look at the pricing, it is unlimited mailboxes and unlimited campaigns. It's just limited in the terms of number of mailboxes you can select in the campaign, but you can do unlimited tests. Sweet. Any other questions, everyone? We'll run this for another 4 minutes. 4 minutes. Is any ASP delivering better than Outlook? Yeah, Gmail is crushing it. Answer your question, sorry. Could be a dumb question. Absolutely not. If you're sending to all different providers from your mailboxes, could that have a negative impact on the deliverability since you're sending an email? Haha, and that is why we introduced warm-up copy. Because before, you were effectively sacrificing these emails by sending these emails out, but when you do warm-up copy, you're actually warming up your campaigns and your mailboxes and your actual copy and saving it if it lands in the spam folder while doing a test. So it's literally two birds, one stone. Andy, is routing your domains to Cloudflare a good idea? Some people say really good, some people don't like it. When will proof one be available? I don't have that timeline yet. Neil may be able to get back to you. So test while warming up inboxes. Yes, Ryan. So that you don't need to test while warming up inboxes. You've joined a bit late, perhaps. You simply just need to go ahead and create a smart delivery test. Go to manual test. Give me a second. Blah, 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 and create test. And if you just click on testing again, scroll here, click on this button. Everything is done for you. If we make the copy, oopsie. If we made a copy mostly with clay, how should we go over warm-up? Nothing, just click this button. That's all you need to do. We pick up every single variable of yours as you are actually sending an email. If you click on this, it's the equivalent of you doing your campaign twice. One time you send it to us instead of your leads. We have over 1,000 mailboxes, and we'll reply to all of them saying, yes, I want to buy. And the second time is when you actually send your actual leads. All good to go. And guess what? Unlike other public networks, which we've got 1.8 million mailboxes on our platform right now, your copy is not going to be exposed because the warm-up is not across the public network. It's between our mailboxes that we own and we completely rotate at all points in time. And they're all premium Gmail and Outlook accounts and your mailboxes. So you're in good hands. Final question. Can you select all sequences in campaign one rather than making a separate campaign with each step? Not really. You'd probably have to do separate campaigns because the testing will be quite difficult for us to do that. But good suggestion nonetheless. You need to select a campaign, mate. Because Ryan, you need to select a campaign because it's a campaign copy that goes out. So I was just doing that as an example, but you actually need to select the campaign. So not day two. Right, select day two again. You select the campaign, select the sequence, and then you're good to go. No, yes, you don't need to hit save and run. You can just shout at it and it'll definitely run. Can we select a sequence one in campaign one rather than making separate campaigns? You have to select separate campaigns. Do you guys offer one-on-one calls? I think he said whatever. Monday, sorry, you're all good, mate. Question, in case you missed it. Should you increase warming up reply rates when sending cold emails? My main thinking is that it will make the domain boxes look like they're getting more. Yeah, Joshua, that's a good assumption. That's why we have that. You should definitely have that increase. Is it recommended to send all providers for each campaign or just the main ones? Outlook and Gmail is what we recommend. You're good to go. Question about the new feature. How much time to get emails in the primary inbox optimized infra ready? They're just like Gmail and Outlook accounts. So 2 weeks. 2 weeks, 14 days. That is, I'm sorry, useless French accent. I'm not trying to offend you. Apologize. Sweet. That calls it. I'll take one final question in the chat over there. Drop it in. We'll get that answered. Otherwise, something exciting for all y'all because we love all of you in a very non and very consenting way. We're New World. However, when we love you, we will take care of you and we will ensure that we have these running every single week with experts from across the world, people who have the best results in the world. So you have these very personal one-on-one catch-ups with us. I know it's 40 of us, but guess what? We made it through uni with 100 students there, so we can make it through over here in school. But if you do want one-on-one, we do also have Beatly. We'll set that up for you. You just need to make sure that you're in at least one of the higher plans because, I mean, in the end, man's got to eat, right? All right, we'll have all these last questions answered and we'll jump straight to it. Why Google Mailbox are cheaper than actual cost buying directly from G Suite? Raheel, throw that guess at me, man. Why do you think they're cheaper? Because if I made them more expensive, then you told me why they're more expensive. If it kept the same price, you'd ask me why they're the same price. So I'll leave that question to you. Because we've got the people, the vendors that we work with are resellers. That's why everyone in the market works with resellers right now, except the main difference is we've not white labeled it. We've offered it as a marketplace. So we make no cut out of it. That's what they offered there. We've actually bargained a deal out of them for you all so that you can actually get a better price out of it. But yeah, the reason why they can get that deal is because they're reseller mailboxes. That's how they've done it. When will be the best time, or what are the signs to delete or replace an email account domain tenant? That's a great question, Mike, and that's something we're actually working towards right now to give you that optionalization and opportunity to answer. But when you consistently see, because the beautiful part about SmartDelivery is you can actually get a per mailbox report. You can actually see which mailbox of yours is actually not performing well or not well. We'll actually have that view pushed out for you. So once that mailbox is consistently doing bad, you want to get rid of it. Alrighty. Is it recommended to do one sequence per test? It's not recommended. That's the only choice you have right now. So that's probably what you want to do. I mean, to get my email accounts on Smart. Okay. The time delay to get them onto Smartlead is 24 hours right now. It's taken longer. Please ping Ignore. He'll get that sorted out for you ASAP. But like I said, we'll also be getting Nick Abraham on Wednesday, which is 2 days from now. One of the best in the world at the moment. And I say that without any hesitation. He knows everything around building an agency, automations, and actually a lot around deliverability because Catch 22 for y'all, he actually ran his own email platform well before he started on Smartlead as well. So he knows a fair bit around the space. When I buy primary inboxes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, sorry. Is it recommended to send for all? Okay, got that answered as well. Okay, thanks. But yeah, Francois, tag Ignore if he does not get back to you in 24 to 48 hours. Then we're actually catching for an offsite in a few weeks. I'm going to get him one extra shot. Drunk, that's a lie. I don't believe in alcohol poisoning. We are, sober people, supposedly. So, sweet. Beautiful people, thank you for your time. Thank you for your attention. You've heard me yap on for 44 minutes, way more than any of my previous partners have done so. So I have a lot of credit for you all for doing that. Here to help you. We're always here to help you. We'll be doing this every week, like we said. Nick's coming up soon, but we also will have our own experts, Neil himself or myself or someone in the team to jump on these calls every week to assist you guys on questions. Raheel, sorry, I know I didn't answer that question for you properly, but effectively, like I said, resellers are the reason why we're able to get you the best deals in the market possible. There's lots coming through. There's heaps of new features coming in. One of the biggest ones that I'm excited for you all very quickly before you jet is the AI copy. That is going to be a massive, massive, massive winner for you all because like I said, your copy is not going to be just sales optimized, but delivery optimized as well. And we're not just taking a random ChatGPT model, but the teams actually Neil sit down and actually train that model across 5,000 campaigns that have the highest. So the average positive reply rate is about 54% for these campaigns. So you're going to get, that's positive reply rate, by the way, right? Positive reply rate. So you're going to get the best trained engine over there that is also going to take care of the negative cases. So you'll click of a button, you're going to get your AI engine giving you the best damn results possible. All right, beautiful people. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your week. See you very, very, very soon. Cheers.